Next, I want to talk about the left jab, the most important punch in boxing. A lot of people refer to the left jab and talk about how important it is, but they don't stress it as far as how it can be used, how many different ways it can be used, how many different positions the jab can be thrown from, and how it can be used as an offensive weapon and a defensive weapon. Old-time boxing masters used to say that if you can't handle the other guy's jab, you can't win. And if he can't handle your jab, he can't win. So the jab is the most important punch in boxing, and we'll go over the jab right now in all of its different aspects. One thing to remember is the stance. Once again, we're going into the same basic stance that we had. We'll start with a square stance. We can do this from a slant stance. It doesn't make any difference which stance we're in, as long as the jab, to begin with, is fired right off of the shoulder. The important thing, once again, for the jab is that the arm motion coordinate with the feet, with the buttocks, with the back, with the shoulders, so that we have good weight transfer for the jab as it goes forward. I want to make one point about the jab here. A lot of boxing instructors tell you that the wrist must be pronated on the jab to get effective striking power and to get an effective striking surface. I think that it's fine to pronate this wrist if you want to, as long as you're not getting into a backhand type of movement. That's why I like to teach the jab with the thumb up, the palm in, until all this motion has become straight through. Otherwise, if you start pronating this, I found this with people when they learn, if they start pronating this wrist too soon, they start to get into this kind of a motion. Pretty soon they're into this kind of a motion, which is nothing but a jab from the elbow out and totally ineffective. So, when you learn the jab, start off with the thumb up all the way through so that the bones of the forearm, the upper arm, extend right through to the shoulder and down, so that it will look like this if I were stepping straight in. Just like this. I'm jabbing and blocking. Hit, block, and get away. This is the essence of the jab. Hit, block, and get away. When the arm comes through, it covers my chin. This then protects me from an uppercut. I'm in position to block a hook if it comes, or I'm in a position to step back and I still have this arm between me and my opponent's right hand. Many people will say, you want to bring this back quickly. Of course you do, but not at the expense of following through and getting maximum power. That's essential. You must get maximum power, otherwise why jab at all? Now, we will also go into a jab that is not a power jab, which is the speed jab, which is used against a dangerous opponent early in a fight when you don't want to really declare yourself. You don't want to follow through all the way. What you want to do is tantalize your opponent and find out what he's going to do to counter your good jab. Now, the speed jab is thrown right from the same area. It goes out, but I'm not stepping in real hard with it. I'm only stepping maybe 2 inches at most in this manner and out. In this manner and out. I'm not really declaring myself and going all the way through. This is declaring myself and going all the way through. Bringing it back on a line to my shoulder, yes. Of course I want to bring it back here for safety, but never at the expense of getting it all the way through. So the hard jab, power jab all the way through, the speed jab, out, but back quickly. Out and back quickly. I'm thinking more about getting in and getting out safely than I am just driving my jab through my opponent. I always want to drive through the target, but I don't want to ever get out here and be at like Venus at the pump, as they used to say, which is not a good position. So feet come along with me, bang, back. Hit, block, get away. Hit, block, get away. Hit, block, and get away. Now, when you're practicing the jab, do this. Pretend pretend that your opponent is throwing different punches back at you. So if I'm going to jab and block, I'm now blocking the jab, but you also want to practice jab and block the hook. Jab and block the hook. Your opponent may not have a good jab. He may try to hook as a counter every time to your jab. He also may want to throw a right hand. If that's the case, practice jabbing with a very slight cross block. I've gone from here to here. Jab with a slight cross block. Jab with a slight cross block. Jab with a slight cross block, just in case he's trying to counter my jab with his right hand. So we have three ways to jab and block. Jab and block the jab, jab and block the hook, jab and block the right hand. Remember those three. Another area of a jab that I want to touch on is bringing the jab back. Sometimes when I'm out here with my jab, I can bring it back halfway, I can bring it back 3/4, or I can bring it back all the way. Depends on where I want to come with the jab. If I want to get it in quickly, I'm only going to bring it back halfway. And if I want to get a little more time, a little more power, I can bring it back to 3/4. And if I want total power on it, I can bring it back even with my right hand. Now when I step, I've got all this area to go. Of course, it's going to take a little longer to get there, which brings up another good point. If you're faced with an opponent that has more reach than you do or a faster jab than you do, one of the first options that you should always look at for yourself is stick your left hand out a little further to begin with so it has less distance to go. You may be able to beat him to the punch. The other area of the jab that's very important is you always want to vary the number of jabs that you throw and the pace of the jab. You don't want the same pace on the jab all the time. As I explained earlier, there's the quick jab, the speed jab, the snake's tongue jab, as they used to call it, which is quickly in and out. It's a safety first jab. Then there's the hard jab that you drive all the way through, punching through the target. But also, you want to vary the pace on the jab. You don't want your opponent to think this is the same pace all the time, and then he can time it. Sometimes you want to put it out there with good speed on it. Bam! Sometimes you want to just lay it out there and bring it back, but always bringing it back safely. So vary the pace of your jab and vary the number of jabs that you throw. 1 jab, 2 jab, 3 jabs. Always remembering the most important point of all that I keep focusing on, and I will all during this tape, stepping on every punch. I don't care if you're standing in the same place. Make sure that you're stepping. Just picking that left foot up just a 1/4 of an inch off the floor to get that step, to get that weight transfer. Extremely important. If I throw 1 jab, step. If I throw 2 jabs, step, step. If I throw 3 jabs, step, step. If I throw 4 jabs, step, 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 step. Always stepping, always getting weight transfer, always getting power. Now, the next area that I want to go into is where do I deliver the jab from if I don't always want to deliver it off of my shoulder? I have other areas that I can shoot the jab from. Many trainers will tell you, you must shoot the jab from the shoulder, otherwise you're laying yourself open to a counter right hand or a lead right hand. Not true. The only thing that's important is not where I throw the jab from, it's where I bring it back to. If I want to drop my jab down in this area, right here, if I want to drop it to here, if I want to pull it back to here, if I want to go slant and get this kind of a jab that a lot of guys use, old-time guys use, Tommy Hearns used this jab, I'll get power, increased power, but what's the key for safety for me? Bring it back high. So I can start my jab from down low. It doesn't make any difference as long as I bring it back high. I can step in with a power jab right off of my hip, right to here, as long as I bring it back high. Now I'm safe from counterpunching. Now you say, well, you've got your jab down here to begin with. Isn't the guy going to hit you with a right hand if you're here or here? Isn't he going to lead with a right hand and hit you? If I can get hit with that, I shouldn't be in the ring. Believe me, I've got this hand to guard, I've got my shoulder, I've got my feet. If I get hit with that, I deserve to get hit with it. So remember that. Shoot your jab from any place you want to. Vary it. Shoot it sometimes from here, sometimes from here, sometimes from here, sometimes from here. What's the key point? Always bring it back to your shoulder. So if a counter punch is coming, I've got this glove between my opponent's right hand and me.